This is Mitch, and welcome to TaxFreeFuture.com. I'm back again with the infamous Tim Berry, and we're going to answer a few questions here this morning. We're going to start out in this episode and talk about can a husband and a wife put their retirement funds into the same 401k, and how does that work exactly? Tim, give us the answer.
Well, the answer is yes. I mean, that's one of the super cool things about 401ks is just think of Microsoft. Microsoft has, gazillions of employees. All those employees put their money inside the same 401k plan, and now they go out and invest it. Well, if Microsoft can do it, your 401k can do the same thing. So husband and wife, they can now pool their assets together inside the same 401k. And if you do it right, the whole family could pool their assets together, actually.
That was my next question. Kids could do it?
Yeah. I mean, there's certain dance steps you got to do, but yeah, they can do it. And the cool thing is now all that money is pulled together. And the sad news for us, though, is less fees. With an IRA, husband needs to have a separate IRA. What's the I in IRA stand for? Individual. So a husband needs a separate IRA, wife needs a separate IRA, kids need separate IRAs. Great for us, we can charge more in fees, but bad for the family because they have to pay more and they cannot jointly invest those assets. But with the 401k plan, all one plan, all one set of fees, and they can all jointly invest, and makes it just so much easier.
Okay, so let's just go back to the very beginning of how TaxFreeFuture.com got started in the first place. How it got started was I was with one of those IRA people.
Yep.
They had the trustees there. First of all, the answer from the trustee was always no. They wouldn't do any research. They wouldn't find any angle. They wouldn't say, well, you can't do it that way, but if we do it like this, we can accomplish the same goal and all be legal. That's why I love you, Tim. But the other thing was I had 4 IRAs, okay? 4 self-directed IRAs, and they were billing me for every transaction. They were billing for what it was worth at the end of the year. There was a percentage of that. There was billing me for a payoff. I don't know. There were so many things they could bill me for that when I looked up, I was paying about $3,000 per IRA. That's 4 IRAs times $3,000, $12,000 a year almost. To out of my retirement plans, because I was doing a lot of transactions, because I was growing those retirement plans. Like, to me, that's what they're for. They're to be grown. To grow them, you have to do transactions. Now, I wish I knew how to just do one transaction and have $1 million in mind, but I haven't figured that out yet. But I know how to do multiple transactions and have hundreds and hundreds of thousands in there, starting with nothing. And so you can stay. I could have stayed with those companies, but then that $12,000 started haunting me. It actually started pissing me off, and I started going like, there's got to be a way. So then I called some people, and one of the people was you, and you said, well, you don't have to do that. He goes, I offer the same things with better intel on the backside, on the inside. When you open the folder and say, what can I do and how can I do it? Tim's got better intel. I mean, he's not just a no man. You heard of yes men? Well, most trustees are no men. They just say no. Before the question even gets out of your mouth and you finish the sentence, they just say, hey, can you? And they just go, no. They just say no. They don't even hear the rest of the question. They don't even think about it. And so when I heard Tim was charging just a flat annual fee, no matter what your IRA was worth, no matter what the transactions, or a flat fee for the 401ks, no matter what they were worth, no matter how many transactions, I thought, holy crap, I could cut this down to hardly anything, not even worth mentioning, the amount of money that I'm spending every year. So that's how TaxFreeFuture.com got started. Here's the catch. You can go open those other ones for free, and then eventually they will fee you to death. And the bigger you get, the worse it gets. The more active you are, the worse it'll be. Or you can pay up front, a decent or a small amount of money, relatively small to what you're capable of. And then you'll have a flat fee that's tiny for the rest of your life. What is it? 220, 225, who cares? 200 and something. Okay. A per annual fee. That's it. No more, no less. So that's how TaxFreeFutures.com got started was, if you want to get the free thing, let me tell you, it ain't going to be free. And one of these days, it'll cost you way more than you ever thought free could cost you. Or you can pay up front, $1,500, maybe between $1,500 and $2,000 up front, and have like a $220, $230, $250 minimum fee. I don't know the details because there's different, I mean, they vary a little bit, just like everything else in the tax code and everything else. It's all kind of a little gray minutia at the end of the day, which is why you need Tim, because that gray minutia, you can walk around with a chip on your shoulder and say, that's just, why is it so confusing? Or you can take the gray matter and go, you know what? That gray matter gives me room to move around a little bit. You know?
And also, like you were talking about, Mitch, it's minutia. Who gives a damn about the annual fee? Let's talk about the larger picture. How much can you plow into there and how much can grow tax-free? That's all that matters.
Yeah, that was another reason why the 401k was so important. And by the way, there's other things you can track separately in the 401k. It's not just his retirement funds and her retirement funds, but you can also separate his or hers Roth monies, right? You can Rothanize money inside there and start tracking that vein. It's all just a bookkeeper's job, right? It's all in one account, but you're tracking hers, his, her Rothanized money, her or his Rothanized money, right? It's all in one account, which is pretty cool because at the end of the day, you can get real clever, and you really see this a lot in asset protection plans. You can get so clever that your bookkeeping's out the roof. It's hard to keep track of anything. You know? And that's what you don't want. And you don't want when you start getting real clever, a lot of times that bookkeeping bill will go through the roof. This makes it simple.
That's a hell of an answer, Mitch.
I know, I just talked my way into a dead end. I'm sorry. So that concludes today's segment on why 401ks, and you don't have to have a bunch of 401ks. You can probably just have one for the family, right?
Yep, that's all you need.
All right, taxfreefuture.com. Check it out. Make sure you fill out the little microform, watch the little 30+ video vignettes, and watch how you can specifically pay attention to how you can take a little bit of money and grow it into a lot of money and not get feed to death. All right, this is Mitch Stephen with Tim Barry. We're out of here. See
Thanks,
you in the
Mitch.
next episode.
Talk to you later.